I'm Delta Work, and this is Very Delta. Aurora Matrix is on the show today, and we talk about the sisterhood of the traveling porn and monkeys stealing chestnuts. And in this season of Giving Thanks, I want to send all of my thanks and gratitude to all of the people who support Very Delta. All of you supporters, I like to call employees because you report to work. Do you want to see me go off? Because I think you want to see me go off.
Oh. Mom!
Are you a lady like me? Introspective, beautiful. Oh, are you intellectual like me? Beguiled by a bargain? You like wild times? Oh, like me? Are you serving the community like me? Well, if you are, then you must be Very Delta. I'm Delta Work, and this is Very Merry Delta, a luxury public access podcast and YouTube talk show where I look gorgeous, speak extemporaneously, and invite fascinating people to sit on the couch and get Very Delta. Very Delta's for the woman who compares everyone's macaroni and cheese recipe to her macaroni and cheese recipe. But first, let's get into some things that are very Delta.
Go off, Delta!
You know where I won't be this Friday? In a store Black Friday shopping. Now, don't get me wrong. I will be online. I've been online for weeks getting involved in cyber sales and different purchases and different discounts because, leading up to the actual Black Friday in a brick and mortar store, there are already sales. And Black Friday, I feel like in itself has completely changed. So different than what I remember. As a kid growing up, you would go to a Black Friday sale for a bicycle or tents that were on sale, or maybe you would go get running shoes. There was always some value that brought you into a store, and it was usually several things. There would be several doorbuster items that you wanted to get there for. And, honestly, it's for families that were trying to get that dollar to stretch, a bicycle that you couldn't afford throughout the year. If you were that one of 100 people in line, you might be able to get it. You might be able to grab something that you worked so hard for, but just were not able to get unless there was that sale. And I feel like over the past, maybe 20 years, it's just dwindled more and more and more. And I don't mean that the sale is not there. The value and the bargain is not there. We see people going into these stores and trampling one another for fleece pajama sets or for hand towels or something that's not really so much cheaper than you could get throughout the year. It's not really that value. Once upon a time, everybody wanted to have a VCR or, a camera, something that was completely different than what we have now in our hand with a cell phone, right? So if you make that cell phone purchase, you already have everything you need. You have a typewriter, you have a video camera, you have a actual camera, you have all of it in your hand. So going and getting these things on sale isn't really a thing anymore. It's just these like doorbusters that people go in for, and they're knocking down the door for what? Like, we don't need big TVs on sale anymore. Everybody has big TVs. We need eggs on sale. We need, we need Diet Coke on sale. I would bust down the door for any of those items. But fleece pajamas, they're already $6. Like, how much cheaper are they going to go? Like, there's not really a value in that. I don't know. And since Black Friday has become mainstream, there have been deaths and over 100 reported injuries of people tackling one another to get, Sasquatch bath soap, or to get a deal on Swagger deodorant. I mean, I could say that people are greedy, or I could say that they're desperate because they can't afford to get any of these things otherwise. I mean, it could be a multitude of reasons. I just know that I don't want to tackle people for those things. I would rather just go to Dollar Tree and buy it if that's what I have to do throughout the year. But it's what people want to do. Retailers will hire between 4 and 5 100,000 employees for the holidays. Do you know where I want to be hired for the holidays? I want to be hired anywhere that has a seasonal milkshake. That's where I want to work. I want to work just making milkshakes for people who are coming through that have had a crazy day shopping, a Black Friday event, whatever it is. I want them to pull up and I want to make them the perfect milkshake with the perfect amount of Cool Whip, whipped cream, 2 cherries. I want them to get that shake and look at it and say, oh, this was a strawberry shake. It's so red, so pink, I can tell. Because, you go in and get a shake anymore and there's like a little bit of red at the bottom and the rest of it just looks vanilla. I want to be the person responsible for giving you that little bit of respite from your shopping, that little break. I do miss that. I do miss the mall and the idea of taking a break in the food court, especially during the holiday season. Especially during Black Friday shopping. People would go out, wait in line, do those things, but you would still go out throughout the day and just do regular shopping and you would get deep discounts throughout the day. Now, nothing is really on sale. Like, what's the sale? These numbers say the average sale is 31%. That's the average number. Usually you're just looking and they're like, oh, well, we're giving you 20% off of these turtleneck sweaters. Well, not everyone's wearing turtleneck sweaters. I want 30% off my total purchase. That's a sale. I want you to say, these mountain bikes are $250, but if you come in today, the first 100 customers that get them, they're $75. To me, that's pulling people in. I think they can eat that cost. There's so many things that could bring people in, but everyone's just buying everything online. And now there's, of course, Cyber Monday, which, a Cyber Monday sale begins in the end of August. Everything is online because it's easier. Nobody wants to go in the store, not just because they don't want to go in the store and wait in line. They just don't want to have to deal with the people. Like, how are they going to be dealing with anything now that everything's locked up? How is that going to happen? Remember, you would go in like the day before Thanksgiving or on Thanksgiving, and there would be like, I don't know, baskets with saran wrap around them. And they would say like, these are only available at 6 a.m. on the day after Thanksgiving, on Black Friday. Now you can just get whatever, wherever. And the stuff that was in there was like, I don't know, again, pajama sets, a little lamp that was like $6 for camping. Oh, so now they're $4? Woo! Let me buy one for everyone. We need real stuff on sale. If you are going Black Friday shopping to a brick and mortar store, you have to go absolutely prepared. Don't drink anything. Honestly, I know you're going to be bored. You're going to be standing in line. You're going to be thirsty. You're going to have to go pee, and there might not be anywhere to go if you're waiting in line. So if you do have to drink something like a coffee or something to keep you awake, take someone with you so somebody can hold the space in line. That's just how it's going to have to work. I would absolutely get there as early as possible and wait in the car. And when you start to see people lining up, that's when you run in there. So you don't want to be any more than 20th in line or something. Be respectful of other people. Get those little hand warmers or something because it's going to be cold outside. I just think, you have to go into there with, yes, an expectation if you're going to be early, but also the understanding that you might not get the deal that you're looking for because people might just trample all over you. I don't know why people are trampling. I think people think it's a sport. I think people just look at everything about life anymore as a sport. I've harped on it over and over and over again, but you see with the election, people say, oh, you're a sore loser. Oh, our candidate won, rah, rah, rah. It's not a sporting event. Like, we're hiring somebody for a job where it's not, but you see it. It's a sporting event for many people, and they look at life that way. That's why people run through parking lots and with their car full blast. Woo! They go full speed ahead. They want to knock somebody over. They're get out of my way, until it matters to them when they're walking through and they're like, I can't believe we're going through here so fast. And the same thing with the trampling. I need that deal. We learned this during the pandemic when we heard that their toilet paper was going to be scarce or that their food was going to be scarce. You can tell how people respond to things when they say, hey, we're going to run out. So if your response to go up to a pile of stuff is, let me take 1 or 2 for my family because we're going to run out, that says a lot about you because you're thinking about other people that might need 1 or 2. If you go up and you take all of it because you're going to run out, that says a lot about you because you took all of it. Same thing goes with this. Everybody wants to get in on the deal. You don't need to go in and get 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. And I know they put limits on it, but some people take them anyway. And then they bring people in. You hold 2 for me. You hold 2 for this person and that person. What are you going to do? Resell it on offer up? Gross. That is so greedy. Do you want to see me take a break? Because I think you want to see me take a break. Today's guest is a descendant of the dragon. She was the runner-up on Canada's Drag Race Season 4. It's Aurora Matrix.
Hello.
Hi. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Now, listen, you, the Canadian gals do not play. You are not the only doll who has literally flown in, got here, got into drag, and that's not a quick flight. I mean, it really is a long flight. So thank you for doing that.
Oh my God, of course. I mean, I had to be here. I had to be
grateful.
here.
I'm so grateful and so lovely, so beautiful this early in the morning, which is kind of a feat for some people, but you know your face. You know, how long have you been doing makeup?
Oh, well, I started playing around with makeup before I even did drag. I think I was 16.
Okay. So 2 years ago.
2 years ago, actually 2016. I was born in 2000.
Okay.
And I was just in high school, loved playing around with makeup, was a theater student. And then one day I was like, well, theater and makeup put together is drag. So why not create this monster that is Aurora Matrix?
I love that. I love that. You know, I feel like every region, every state, every country has sort of a thing that happens in drag. And this year I learned about marathon drag in Canada, and that was very new to me. So I want your opinion on it, your explanation of it.
Well, I'm from Toronto as well, home of the marathon drag. And I just want to say, I feel like marathon drag really prepared me for Drag Race.
Okay.
You have the stamina, the endurance to kind of keep a show going. You're kind of forced to host throughout the night.
Sure.
There's not necessarily one host that kind of keeps the show going. So you kind of get to know your audience a little more. And I love doing multiple songs back to back, because then you do one to kind of warm up the crowd, talk to them, get to know them. And then you do another one, and then they're more inclined to tip you or buy you drinks or whatnot. And I don't know. I just love building a set, 25-minute set, 30-minute set, and just kind of giving like a bit of like a storyline just for that 25 minutes.
Right. What would go into a set like that? Like, what is there like a go-to set of songs that you like to do?
Well, I love to dance. So I really like starting my numbers with like a big dance number. So like River Deep Mountain High, for example, Celine Dion. Like that's one that I always love throwing right at the beginning. It gets the audience going, and it has those loud instrumentals right at the start. And everyone's just like, oh, okay, the show's starting. The show's starting. Let's all look at whoever's on the stage, and here I am.
Well, I think people love that too, especially audience members love something powerful that they can relate to, because it makes them feel powerful as well. And I've always said, I feel like, especially when you're in like a queer audience, if you're presenting them something that you love so much, they're on board with you. So if you're like, I'm Wonder Woman, they're like, yeah, the hell you are.
You are.
You sure are Wonder Woman. They want to be there with you. So River Deep Mountain High, my God, everyone loves that song, right? So
everyone knows it.
It's so smart to do that.
And I always say, like, if I'm smiling on stage and I look like I'm having fun, the audience is probably going to have a lot more fun. Like, one of the best advice I've ever gotten actually is, I can be as fierce as I want on stage, but don't forget to smile.
Yeah.
Don't forget to make eye contact with the audience.
That makes sense.
I could be all cunt and everything and like giving you fierce face, but like it could be a little scary sometimes for an audience that doesn't go to a drag show often. They're like, oh, they're just yelling at me on stage.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I remember even my mom, like when I first started doing drag, I thought that like the look was to look really severe. You know, you would like stare into the camera and be sultry. And there's a way to be sultry and sexy, but also not look mad. My mom would be like
playful.
Yeah.
You know?
She would ask, why do you look so mad in these pictures? And I'm like, I'm not, I'm fierce. And then I realized, like, you know, we always hear of people, other queens from Drag Race, and all of the franchises of them, where people will say, oh, they came to the town and they were really, really mean and they looked mean. And I think a lot of people think that's being a diva. And it's not. It's just being mean. That's not really diva.
You're just rude.
You're just being rude.
You're just rude.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's really not that hard to, like, not be mean. Like, you can keep that all to yourself. It's so unnecessary to
Yeah.
say things that are rude, especially if you're in a new city and you're performing with other local queens from that city. They don't know you that well, so you have to have a good impression. If you're gonna
Yeah.
show up being a diva, that's the only impression they're gonna have of you, and they're gonna tell others, well, they were a bit of a diva, they weren't the nicest, they were pretty
Right.
short and blunt with everyone.
And you want to come back. You're
You
like,
want
I
to come back, you want to stay booked.
I want to work so bad.
Absolutely.
I mean, gosh, I was on Drag Race so long ago, and I'm always curious as to the experience for people who have just recently been on Drag Race. You said that like performing marathon kind of helped prepare you for that, and I don't think a lot of people realize how much standing there is, and how much waiting, and hurry up and wait, because that's making TV in general is hurry up.
Yeah.
All right, got to chill out because we got to fix a camera angle or whatever. We know that. What was your experience like with that?
Oh, I remember day one with entrances. Your call time is so early in the morning. You're there in your heels, your corset. And of course, I was picking outfits where there's like boot covers and everything. So I couldn't even take off my heels to take a break.
Right.
And just standing there on the stage while the judges are giving critiques to each individual person. You're there for a couple hours and you're feeling every nerve in your body screaming in pain. But I don't know. I remember being there and just being like, you made it. You're here. Like, no matter how tough this feels on your body mentally, like, this is kind of what I've always wanted to work towards. And now that I'm here, it's like, just do the best that I can. And
yeah,
I think I did.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I feel like as somebody who I can remember being there and remember like those long days where you're like, I feel like I've sweated my makeup off. I feel like I smell. I feel like I can.
You don't feel beautiful.
You don't feel.
Anymore.
You can feel like corners of my mouth are got like you feel gross. But I know as somebody who watches the show, watching you, I'm like, you look perfect from beginning to end. But I know, thinking to myself, her mind is probably thinking like, I'm starving. I got to go to the bathroom. Her feet are probably killing her because she's wearing shoes this tall. Like, you know what I mean?
In the moment, you're like, what are we doing?
Right.
Like,
right.
why is it taking so long? Even like repositioning cameras or
Right.
the host re-saying something or waiting for another cue. Like, moments like that, it definitely took a second to get used to, because I'm like, oh, this is still a TV show. This is still a reality show. It's not just a competition.
Right.
And I think that was like a moment of, okay, maybe this isn't exactly how I thought it would be, but I need to quickly adapt and change so that I can get as far as I can in this competition.
That is so wise. I mean, for you to be so young and so wise about that, that's something that that I didn't understand when I was there. And I've always said to people like, oh, I think I'm really good at, in retrospect, I'm really good at drag. I'm not good at Drag Race. And you came into it knowing that, what you just said, being able to separate yourself and realize that you're a contestant, but you're also a cast member. And that's so wise to be your age and know that. I think it's something I've never heard anyone else verbalize. And that's what people really need to hear, is that you were cognizant of the fact that you were making TV. And
yeah, this is a TV show.
Is there anything going into the show that you were like, oh, I wish I had done this. I wish I had taken this. I wish I had known that I was going to need this when I wasn't even filming? Because I know when we went in, there was, this is maybe TMI, but whatever. There was like everyone had it was so long ago that we had individual DVD players.
For your music?
No, like to watch movies in the hotel room. So we would like open up a DVD player, like a little tiny one. And so everyone would share DVDs. There was only one DVD of porn.
Oh.
And everyone shared it.
Okay, I will say on my cast, one girl brought porn. And that got passed around like a little bottom. Like, we were sitting there and I remember looking over. Her name's Kiki. And I remember looking over her. I'd be like, are you done with your tape? And she was like, well, I have one, but I don't really love it. So you can take it if you want.
Oh my gosh.
So it got passed to me. And after a couple days, I sent it to another queen in the hotel. And then it got passed on to another queen.
Right.
And it was just the sisterhood of the traveling porn.
Right.
The porn train.
Right. No, truly. And you, when you're in that space, I don't know how it worked for yours, but for us, they let us go to this grocery store so we could have because we had a little refrigerator, so you could have like fruit or shakes or whatever it was that you wanted to have. And I remember when Phoenix went home from that morning she came over and she was like, listen, they're going to be sending me home. Obviously, you already know, but I wanted to give you the groceries that I had purchased because I don't want them to go bad. So if you need a loaf of bread, I have 2 protein shakes.
She's like, I have a whole grocery order
Totally,
ready to go, but it's going to
totally.
go bad because I'm leaving.
There's so many weird little intricacies that people don't realize about that. Also, too, like for someone like you who's going to be corseted all the time, really high shoes, like you can't get out of the costumes. So it's difficult to sit down in the middle of the day when they're like, okay, it's time for lunch. And you're like, I'm not going to eat that.
The craft service comes in and I'm like, well, I'm not going to have a whole burger right now.
So you're like eating maybe some Cheez-Its or fruit snacks.
You're like breaking things apart to make it like little like bite size.
Exactly.
No, but at our hotel, actually, we were completely sequestered. We weren't allowed to see each other. We always had music playing in our ears when we were walking around the hotels. Everyone was separated. We didn't even know who was on what floor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we were all separated on different floors.
There was a moment where the girls, some of the girls on our season, like there was somebody who stayed on the floor where we all stayed and would make sure if there was an emergency or anything like that. Well, the girls thought what they would do is just put duct tape and they would all go out. So they all put duct tape on the door and they all went out to a nightclub. Well, when they came back, all the duct tape was peeled off. So they had to go find that person to let them in. And it was a big deal. It was a big deal. And of course, I'm fucking old lady. So I was like, I'm just going to stay in my room. I'm not going out anywhere.
The girls really thought they'd cheat the system.
They really thought. Yeah, they really, really thought. You know, I think because it was the early days of the show, they were like befriending some of the PAs and that kind of thing. So they thought, you're not going to say anything. And they're like, well, no, I want my paycheck. So
you're like, I'm still doing a job.
Yeah, I got to work here. Let's take a break. We are back. I did not know that you have a BFA from York University.
Yes, I do.
Tell us about that.
So I was in the acting conservatory for university. It was a really hard program, and every other actor that I've talked with who has gone to theater school, I'm like, oh, did you love it? They're like, I loved it. I don't regret it, but I would never go back. And I'm like, that's kind of exactly how I feel.
Really?
I feel like theater school, it really put me in a place of like, oh yeah, so this is what I need to do as an artist. But it really challenged me on like just knowing who I am as a person. We were clocking into like emotions and like feelings that I was like, oh, I had locked this down for years and years and years. And now they're like, okay, you just need to tap into that and go on stage. And I'm like, okay, this is a big change for me. But yeah, theater has kind of always been in my life. I've started performing since I was 3 years old when I was wee little tot.
Wow.
But yeah, my parents were very adamant about putting me in choir and musical theater and Chinese dance and all that.
I love that.
So yeah, I'm very grateful that I got to do the acting conservatory because I felt like it did train me as an artist in general. In my 4th year of university, I had a meeting with my teachers at the beginning of the school year, and I said like, so I don't want to be an actor anymore. And they're like, what? And I was like, yeah, I don't want to be an actor. My drag is really taking off, and I think that I'm going to try to pursue this full time. So whatever you guys teach me, I'm just going to apply it as an artist in general because I'm still like representing myself. You're still kind of self-employed and doing all that. You have to kind of sell yourself as an artist, and that kind of just applies to the arts in general, regardless if you're an actor or a singer or a dancer. It
really shows. You know, I remember when Brooklyn Heights was on Drag Race and would come out and do a lip sync, and Rue said, this is evidence that you have to put your kids in dance, acting. You have to put them in anything that has to do with sort of a fine art. You know what I mean? Even in as much as like a martial art. I mean, there's so much involved in the discipline of that.
Discipline, that is a great word, because it's just like, for me now, I'm in charge of my own schedules. So I need to be on it when I'm giving myself shows or giving myself days off. Like I need to be on top of all of that, because if I start slacking, then I'm kind of gonna derail my own drag career.
Sure. Tell me about your podcast.
Ooh, Ooh, so I do have a podcast. It's called The Powder Room with myself, Van Goth, and Perla. We call ourselves the Powder Puff Girls. And it's just a little podcast where people can feel like a little fly on the wall, hear how three besties chat, how we bicker, how we kind of pick at each other, but also uplift each other.
Yeah.
And the three of us are so different that our conversations always are so interesting just because you never know what's going to come out of anyone's mouth.
Well, I think that's the beautiful thing about the Powder Room as a podcast is the idea that you can have these conversations for people who maybe won't have the opportunity to see you perform at a nightclub. They might not be anywhere where they can go to a pride. They might not even have the ability to be out with family who knows anything about that. So they can be part of these conversations and you can connect with them virtually in that manner. Because I feel like, especially, Very Delta came from Very That I did with Raja during the pandemic that we thought was just a fun thing. And then they were like, no, like a lot of people have podcasts. And the more I learned, I realized all of these conversations, whether it's a zillion listeners or two listeners or where we fall, the two of us in the middle of that, they're necessary conversations. Like everyone has something to say. Everyone relates to something differently in different ways. It's so important, don't you think?
I do. And I have a lot of people messaging me being like, I love when you brought this or this up on the podcast or, oh, loved your hot take on this. Like never knew that you thought that way about nails in photo shoots or whatever, like just very niche topics that we get a chance to talk about on camera, and people just messaging me being like, I'm glad that you're doing this because we kind of hear your voice. You kind of see the person behind the drag versus just a performance clip of bam bam shablam, here you go. You kind of see the human behind the drag.
Right. Now, did you use ancestry.com or 23andMe to find out that you were a descendant of the dragon?
Well, as a Chinese person, it's already in my blood. I don't need 23andMe. But it actually is a saying in Chinese, 龙的群人, which means descendants of the dragon.
I love that.
So growing up, I always heard yellow skin, black hair, black eyes. Those were our identifiers. And I don't know, since a young age, I've always been very adamant about being outwardly Asian, just being like unapologetically Asian. And people may take that differently, but for me, like that's such a celebration of my culture. I grew up listening to Chinese Beijing opera for my dad, and my mom watched Chinese dramas that were like period pieces or back in ancient China. That was my childhood. So I really find that important in my life, and I want to keep that incorporated in my drag as much as I can.
It's so important, especially now more than ever. I mean, it's always important, and it's weird to say now more than ever, but we're living in crazy times all over the world.
All over the world.
No matter where you are. It's
something
crazy.
Wild is happening everywhere.
Yeah. And so to be able to say, yes, I'm part of a drag platform very high, but I also bring this and I'm also proud of this, tells other people who look the way that we look, like, you can do this too. Like, I'm not just here by myself. Like, it's so important for other people to hear our voices and see us, because then they see themselves. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's what I've been saying since I started drag, was like, my drag is the role model that I've always wanted to see when I was growing up. There were no queer Asian role models to look up to. So I became that role model for hopefully the next generation of little Gaysians,
Right.
And it's just something that I'm very proud of, and I don't think that anyone could ever take that away from me.
I love that. Can you recommend a Chinese R&B song?
I love Chinese R&B. There's a singer, her name is called Karen Cece. She has a song called Greedy and Confident.
Okay.
And it just exudes sexiness, but also this like confident cockiness that I'm like, yeah, I should feel that strongly about myself. Like, I am greedy, I am confident, but I'm also celebrating myself because it's taken me a long time to get to where I am now, and
I love that.
I'm so comfortable with my own skin now, with what I look like, how I sound, and where I come from. And that wasn't always the case, especially in like primary school and in high school.
Yeah. Do you perform her music?
I don't, and that's actually something that I'm working towards. I really want to perform more songs in Cantonese and Mandarin, just because that's so dear to my heart, and I think that people can see that I care about it. And that's another thing about performance. Like when a performer cares about the song that they're doing, or feels passionately about that performance, you can see that on stage, and it just makes you fall in love with the performer even more.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. This is sort of an off the cuff question, but it's something that I think about. If you do a gig and it's late at night, but you're still able to DoorDash something to eat, what would be your go-to? What would be your option of a place? Would it be like a burger? Would it be a burrito?
I love like a Greek chicken platter with the potatoes and the rice and the souvlaki.
I always tell people when I go out of town, my go-to first off is I just type in Greek because that's what I want.
You can't go wrong.
There's going to be a salad. There's going to be a rice. There's going to be a protein. You're going to have everything. And it's usually a place that will have canned drinks so I can get a Diet Coke.
She loves her Diet Coke.
I've never heard anybody else say that they would go for Greek food first. And
really?
I mean, I know everybody loves it, but usually people are like, oh, I'm going to get Taco Bell or whatever, which I'm fine with too. But
see, you see, like if I were to get Taco Bell, I know I'm going to pay for it the next morning.
Right.
And I'm not willing to wake up in pain.
Right.
Sitting on the toilet, not the cutest thing ever. But if I'm going to have a little Greek, I'm going to be filled up.
I love that. Is there, when you're in a hotel, do you do your makeup like in the bathroom mirror, or do you like to set up at a desk? How do you like to do your makeup?
I don't mind setting up at the bathroom mirror or a desk, but I always will have all of my makeup laid out in the exact same way as when I'm at home. So like my makeup kit is always on the right, brushes are always on the left, palettes in the middle. It's just like it's my way of kind of bringing my home space into a hotel or a studio, wherever I am, just so that I don't forget steps. Whenever I have things out of place, I'll start doing my makeup, be like, oh, I completely forgot to do liner today, just because it wasn't sitting where it usually is.
Yeah, that's so interesting. I think you have to have. Well, I like to. If I had my way, I would get ready wherever the gig is. So like I would rather get ready there and lay everything out, just as you said, and everything has to be in a certain spot or I'm gonna forget. Because I hate the idea of like having to leave, especially if you're in like the middle of nowhere. And you have to leave in drag, and there's like families staying in the hotel, and they're like, what the fuck is that? And it's like, I'm not embarrassed of it. I just don't want the confrontation.
And I always leave for the gigs in like half drag. Like I'll have the wig on, I'll have the body on, but then I'm wearing like sweatpants and like a jersey or something. Yes. And then you walk out of the hotel and there's just a family standing there, and you're like, well, I don't want to make eye contact with you.
Right. Especially like in an elevator or something.
It's so uncomfortable. Even in my own building sometimes, I'll be going down the elevator and then like an old lady will walk in from one of the other floors, and I'm just standing there like, am I going to get hate crimed, or is she going to turn to me and tell me I'm beautiful?
Right.
Like it could really go either way.
Well, that's so funny you say that, because like the fucked up part is when you are sort of half in it, half out of it, I feel like sometimes there are people that are like, you'll run into a lady or something that's like, oh my gosh, I love your makeup. And they want to say something. And my immediate reaction is, no. It looks better when everything's done. Like I want to say like,
you're already giving a disclaimer.
Yes, I have to, because I'm like, trust me, when I put eyelashes on, it makes so much more sense or something. But they're just trying to be nice.
Of course.
But you're like, damn, I want to earn that compliment.
I want you to see the full fantasy before you give me that compliment.
That's so funny.
No, but my favorite is when you're hopping in an Uber to the gig and I'm in this half drag, and then the Uber kind of just like makes eye contact with me in the rearview mirror. And I'm like, oh, he's about to say something. And that's when I think, is he going to say something nice, or is he going to say something a little hateful? And most of the time I've been lucky and it's been very nice. And they're always like, oh, your makeup is beautiful. And I'm like, thank you. Did you do it yourself? I did. Do you have a show tonight? I do.
Oh.
Where's your show? And I'm like, oh, is it turning into a little something else?
And does it ever?
We don't kiss and tell.
Oh, okay. A lady. But what about like negativity? Does that ever happen? I mean, has it happened?
I've been very lucky that it hasn't really happened
I'm glad
much.
to hear that.
There may have been like one or few times where I'm just like walking from the Uber to the venue, and someone just kind of gives me a dirty look. And if anything, I just give them a dirty look back.
Yeah.
If you have the time to look at me, I'll have the time to look at you.
Oh, I love that.
I'll look. If someone's staring at me, I will stare right back at them. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, you're taking the time to look at me, so.
I love that so much. Your parents are from Hong Kong.
They are,
Have you been to Hong Kong?
I have.
Yeah.
I have. I actually celebrated my very first birthday in Hong Kong.
Oh.
So yeah, growing up, I think I went to Hong Kong maybe every 2 or 3 years with my family. And that was really special because my mom's entire side, they all live in the same little village in Hong Kong. They all live beside each other. And every time I went back, I was like, whoa, this is culture shock. Like coming from Toronto, the city, and then going to a place where it's like just a village
Wow.
on a mountain. You hop on a bus and you have to literally call out, oh, next turn to the left, just drop me off.
Oh.
And that's how you get home.
Wow.
But I absolutely love Hong Kong. And every time I go back, it's just like a refresh in my body of like, this is where my roots are from. This is where I'm from. My family's from. And it's just so healing every time I'm back.
And what about, tell me about the food, because that's what I'm always intrigued about.
Street food in Hong Kong. Pretty much every Asian country has like the best street food. I'll be walking around and be like, I want some curry fish balls. And I'll just look to the side. There are 3 stalls that are selling them. Or
Wow.
I want some roasted chestnuts. And there's just a little wok on the side being roasted with chestnuts.
Delicious.
There was one time where I was out by myself in the markets and my family called me. They're like, hey, can you bring back some chestnuts? So I was like, great. I bought 2 packs of chestnuts, and I was on the bus home. And when I walked off the bus, a monkey jumped out of a bush, played tug of war with me, and was tugging on this bag of chestnuts.
Stop.
And ran off with it. So I walk back into this village holding the handle of a bag, and they're like, where's the food? And I was like, the monkey took it.
Oh my gosh.
Like 12-year-old me, I was tiny. Like the monkey was probably the same size as me.
I wonder how it could tell what was in the bag.
When you go to Hong Kong and you go to the mountains, you're told not to bring any food. Or at least hide all the food, because the monkeys at this point know that if you're going hiking, you're going to have food on you.
I see.
So they're not scared anymore. They will come up to you and like hold onto your bags and like start tugging on it. So I experienced that firsthand, playing tug of war with a monkey with my water chestnuts.
Wow.
You can imagine just holding the bag, like the empty like plastic bag handle, walking into your apartment, and your family's just like, where did all the food go?
Right.
I'm like, the monkey took it.
I'm going to start telling people when I come home and like French fries are missing from the bag that like the monkey
took it.
The monkey took my fries.
The monkey took it.
Let's take a break.
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. November is Men's Health Awareness Month, so Talkspace wants guys to know that being prepared for life's biggest challenges and opportunities means prioritizing mental health, too. Talkspace can help you go beyond fine-tuned workouts, supplements, and productivity hacks. Talkspace can help you fine-tune your inner life so you can succeed in being the best version of yourself in any situation. And with Talkspace, you can get therapy from anywhere and on your time. You can even text your therapist between sessions. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace takes most insurance, and most insured members have a $0 copay. Men's Health Awareness Month is the perfect time to reach out to Talkspace. Now, get $80 off your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com and save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com. That's Talkspace.com, promo code SPACE80.
We are back with Aurora Matrix.
I do have a little gift for you.
Oh.
Coming all the way from Canada, I did bring some iconic Canadian snacks.
Thank you.
You know, you've talked about some Canadian snacks in the past, so I thought, why not just bring a little more?
Oh my God, I love Tim Hortons so
Tim
much.
Hortons, of course. And now that we're getting into the fall and winter season,
Yeah, I need this. I'm
gotta
gonna
have some
this-
hot chocolate.
I'm having this tonight because I love Tim Hortons. I don't know if you know this, but like I'm obsessed with podcasts from the CBC. They are the best. And I love,
my God.
I love true crime podcasts. You have to get into a podcast called Someone Knows Something. And
Okay.
it's about each season is like a like one case, and he interviews people and something. Oh, they're fierce.
I love true crime.
Now, this is just straight up called the Pleasure Bar. Just straight up.
I will say I have no clue what that is.
But you saw it and you were like...
But I saw it and I was like, well, I know what pleasure is, so I'm just going to bring this to Delta.
I mean, it is... Oh, you know what? This is going to be my favorite.
Is it a nougat?
It is a nougat.
Pleasure.
Oh, this is a Tim Hortons apple fritter.
Mm-hmm. A little bar. It's delicious.
You are insane for this package. Are you kidding me?
Canadians do not joke around when it comes to Tim Hortons.
Right.
That is the cream of the crop.
I literally don't know where to start. There's so much stuff.
Oh, you're
here.
gonna have to do a little mukbang later.
Thank you for this. This is
You're
so
welcome.
thoughtful.
I'll have to see how you feel about them after eating
Well,
them.
what I'm praying for right now that I never pray for is that I'm in a lot of traffic on the way home because I'm going to open everything.
Yeah, you'll just keep yourself occupied with
I
these
don't need
Canadian
to go to
snacks.
McDonald's. I have McDonald's right here.
Yeah, you have Tim Hortons now.
Oh my God. I'm so excited. Well, this is the part of the show called Read Me Delta. Letters people send in. You know, sometimes they have questions. Sometimes they have observations. Keep those to a minimum. Dearest Delta and gorgeous guest. See, they knew you would be here.
They knew I was
That's how I knew.
gorgeous.
I'm curious about your thoughts on pre-bed preparation, and who better to ask than the woman who caresses before she dresses. My partner and I are very different on this front. He has a thorough 25-minute skincare routine. Then he scrolls in bed for 2 to 4 hours. I pretty much just shower and go to sleep. Is there a very Delta way to prepare for a good night's rest? Love, very Eric. Do you have a routine that you go through before you go to sleep?
Before bed, I'll usually smoke a joint.
Okay.
Because I have very vivid dreams.
Oh, okay.
And they kind of give me night terrors sometimes. So I like to calm them down a little bit. And then I can't go to bed without playing a podcast.
Oh, okay. What would you listen to? Like what's
I like listening to true crime.
I do too.
And I've told some friends and they're like, you're crazy. You're messed in the head. And I was like, I don't know, just something about hearing about what could happen or what could have happened. And the mystery of it all just like really gets me in a sleepy state.
Yeah. I have a hard time putting myself to bed. So I'm always like, oh, you know what? I should do this before I go to bed. I should do this. I always want to like, I feel like I have to accomplish a bunch of things before I fully go to sleep. So it's hard for me to do that. And when I do end up saying, all right, I'm laying down, I will not fall asleep unless I'm falling asleep to looking at the phone.
Yeah.
So it has to be the third me holding the phone up like this and it falls on my face before I'm like, put it down.
Your phone is telling you need to go to bed.
It is telling me to go to bed. Yes.
No, doom scrolling is...
It's terrible.
It's terrible. But...
Well, and my problem is that I save everything because I'm like, I'm going to make that. Oh, I need to remember that because I love that shirt.
I do the same.
You'll see a video and sometimes I'll even think, because like, say on TikTok, it will come through and it might be somebody who has, only a few hundred followers, but I'll see a flower or something that's inspiring to me that I'm like, that's that color I was thinking of. And I'll save
You'll
it.
go back to it.
So then I wonder if they look at their saves and they're like, who is this person just saving this picture of me? And it's like, it's not your video. I don't care. It's that I saw the flower.
It's just one specific thing about it.
Well, and I always save recipes, especially when they look simple, but then the finished product looks elaborate. Because I'm like, oh, when people come over, I'm definitely going to make this. And I'm going to be like, we always make that.
I just whip this up. It's no big deal.
I don't do any of that. I'm not making any of it. I would rather just go to Costco and take whatever dip I buy and put it in another container and smooth it out and tell everybody, look at this, I made this.
Yeah.
So I garnished it with pecans or whatever.
Fine dining. Take a spoon, just do a little smear.
That's it.
You add $50 to the dish.
Yeah. So I would love to say that I have a beautiful routine. I mean, yes, I wash my face. If I haven't showered at the minimum, I will wash my face and put on night cream, and I should be doing that more, and I should be more diligent about it. I feel like when I put it on, it doesn't help that I put it on and then I lay on my back and 2 seconds later I'm laying completely on my face and my face is shriveled like a fucking prune.
That's my thing with skincare. People always say like, oh, you need to put the serum and then the oil and this, and I'm like, but do you not just rub it off onto your bed sheets or your pillow?
I feel like
as soon
I
as
know
you
I
fall
do.
asleep?
I know I do.
Unless you're sleeping like a zombie and just
Right.
or like a Dracula.
Which I guess you probably should. I mean, that's probably the best way to breathe and the best on your face.
It's probably good for you, but I'm
to
not going to
breathe.
do it.
I don't want to breathe.
I don't breathe. I don't do that. Do you?
No. Well, what about, and my other thing is the only like actual habit that I have for going to bed is when I'm staying in a hotel, especially like if I'm out of town for work.
Mm-hmm.
I have to make sure that my suitcase is fully packed. I have to make sure that my clothes are set out for the next morning. The tip is there for the maid. The key is ready. Like I want to be able to move in one motion. Like I will empty out my own trash, tie it up and go find, like I am just.
You're making it as convenient as possible for everyone involved.
You know what this is something else I do is I take my own washcloths with me for taking my makeup off.
Yeah.
Right? When I stay in a hotel, I'm sure that I only take washcloths that are like gray, black, red, like a color, because I don't want them to somehow say they used one of our washcloths to take their makeup off and then charge me. And then I'm like, my anxiety is horrible.
You're like, they have my card on file. They can do anything with it.
Right. I'm always afraid. So like if you walk into a room and you're like, it smells like someone once smoked in here. I call down and I'm like, I'm just letting you know that I'm in the room. I'm not complaining. I just want to let you know. Like I make myself small.
You're like, this is how I found it.
Right. So I'm not mad. I'll stay here. I'm not asking for another room. It's crazy.
Like when you find something, you can have on record that I told you it was already there.
Right.
When I'm at hotels, I usually am very good with like cleanliness and like keeping things tidy. But the second I'm in a hotel room, I'm like, I can throw things on the ground. I don't need to see the floor.
I want to kick my feet all around in the bed because I want to feel the cold sheets. Like,
oh yeah, if it's a queen or a king, I'm like, I will use every inch of that bed.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, this is a long one. Dear Very Delta and guest, is having a sugar daddy very Delta? I'm a 28-year-old cis gay male, and I was recently introduced to a site by a couple of girlfriends used for attractives to find successfuls, or in other words, sugar babies looking for sugar daddies. I recently got out of a long-term relationship, and I'm struggling financially, somewhat because of the entirety of the bills I'm now responsible for, and somewhat because I suck at budgeting. I make okay money for my age, and I'm sure I could get by or get a second job, but I just don't want to. I'm tired of being stressed out by money, and I want to do more with my life. I recently met an older man on this site, about 75 years old, and his husband, who have both taken quite an interest in me, even going so far as buying me a ticket to fly them to Southern California where they live during the winter and sending me money for my birthday. They are both very sweet and actually pretty cool. I'm wondering if this is what I want to do with the rest of my 20s, even into my 30s. They travel a lot, mostly to London and Paris, and they've hinted at the idea of taking me along. So my question is, do I see where this takes me and take advantage of this opportunity, or do I keep trying to get my shit together, knowing it may be quite a while before I can travel and stick with the guys who I would normally date? Please help. Yours very truly, Very G, a financially struggling and recently glowed up bitch. That's a lot.
Gee, I say go for it.
I say go for it.
Right? I mean, if the opportunity comes up and you're already enjoying if you're already doing it and they're giving you more opportunities, why not?
I could not agree with you more. And the reason I say that is you're not hurting anyone. They understand what's happening. They know that this is reciprocal. They know that the situation is they have the money. They can do that, and you are giving them what it is that they seek. I have never been in a position or had the desire to shame anyone for their sexual proclivities, their interests in whatever interests them. As long as no one's being hurt and everyone's on the same page, I think this is absolutely fine. This would be different if you were sneaking around on a partner who didn't know that this was happening. That's entirely different. But when you understand, listen, what do people always say? It used to be something they would say all the time, which was, money can't buy you happiness. Well, guess what? That's a fucking lie. Everything that money can buy would make me so much happier. Everything. Now, that's because we understand that we know we can't buy friends, right? And I don't think that they're trying to buy friends.
No.
I think they're trying to say, we have an interest in you. Do you have an interest in what we provide? If you were disgusted by them, that might seem like work, but this is not work. They're just saying, we have so much to share.
It seems quite mutual.
I don't ask anything of a house cat. I mean, and you understand that. You called yourself a sugar baby. There's no problem. There's no problem there. There's no shame in there. I don't think it's messy at all.
No, not at all. And I think you said it so well. If you're not hurting anyone, if there's nothing at stake that's like gonna cause issues moving forward, I say go for it. If they're offering that and they're comfortable with giving you this money or giving you this trip, and if you want to do it and you're not sacrificing anything on your end to do it, then why not, you know?
And I think there is something to say for a little bit of balance. So maybe you do still go to school, or maybe you do like do something that's going to enrich you. And I think they would probably want that. They probably had to do a lot of work to get where they are.
Find a hobby.
Yeah. And they want to see you also do well for yourself. But in the meantime, they want to be able to help facilitate that. I think it's great. I think we have spent so many years and so many people shaming people for one thing, but then doing the same damn thing. So saying to somebody, you should never do that. You should never do that. You should never be part of that. But then they're cheating on a partner. Or they say, oh, I can't believe you whores. You're making porn. That's so gross. But then you're consuming the porn.
You're consuming the porn, or you're sending nudes to other
What the
people.
fuck is
It's
the
like,
difference? What does it matter?
you can't pick and choose.
Right. We're so as a people, maybe not necessarily culturally, because every culture is different, of course. But as a people in general, we love to frown on other people, but then do something equally, if not worse, in private. We both say, we are your aunties. And we are telling you, you're on the right page, babe. Do what makes you fucking. This is
Get
this
that
life.
money, girl.
These coins.
If
Go
they're
like
willing
this.
to share, be willing to receive.
And they're lovely people. I mean, so fucking what? Why is everybody so worried? And I know you send this letter because you're not worried about it. You just want, somebody like-minded or whatever. But people are so in everybody else's business, right? And relationships in general, like there's people that they want to have a throuple. Well, if it's not for you, it's not for you, then don't do it. But I mean, who are we to tell somebody else to not do that? The same with relationships that when people who are bisexual or people who say, oh, I it's new dawn, it's a new day. I want to be with a trans person. Be with a trans. Just keep loving people. Find all these bodies out there. Love all these bodies the way that you love your body. Have a good time. Wash your ass. Take a shower. Pick up your mess, and we're fine.
And you're fine.
Everything's fine.
Wow, that should be a checklist for life. I love that. Put that on a shirt and sell it.
I think we should.
New Very Delta merch.
T.S. Madison said it best when she said, go suck a dick. Just go do it. That's it. Do what you need to do. Whatever it is that you need to do.
Go suck a dick.
But be able to look in the mirror. You know what I mean? Because we do that every day. Like when you were talking about enriching other people, young people that want to see themselves. We have to look in the mirror every day. We look in the mirror and we see ourselves without makeup on, and we see ourselves with makeup on, and we hopefully like what we see, and these outside noises. I'm glad you wrote this letter because this is a conversation people need to have. We all live differently. We just want our piece of the pie, and it's enough pie for everybody. My God. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
This is so fun.
This was a really good time.
You look like a Christmas angel sitting there. You talked about something, and other people, maybe, I don't know if people think about this, but when you sat down and this was here, there's always like, stuff here. And sometimes the guest is like, I can't see you. So we have to like move. So if you're ever looking at this and you see something here, sometimes the guest and I are like,
we're like craning our necks to try to look at each other.
But it looks fierce. You have to showcase like your things. You know what I mean?
Oh, I love it.
I love it. I love you. Thank you for my gift. Thank you for the conversation.
Oh, of course.
Where and when can people listen to The Powder Room?
It's already out. We're currently on our second season already. We've moved to doing in-person recordings, which I think has been the best move for the podcast. Just the flow of it is going really well. So you can find our podcast, The Powder Room, on Spotify, YouTube, wherever you find your podcast. It's also a visual podcast. So if you want to see three drag queens bickering, chatting, shooting the shit, check us out.
And you do want to check it out because, again, there's so many people out there, especially, here in the States, there's so much going on, and there's people that feel marginalized and they don't get to see other people or hear these queer voices or hear these conversations and they feel left out. And this is a way for you to connect. Whether you listen to this show, you listen to The Powder Room, you listen to any of the podcasts out there, this is how you find your tribe. This is how you find that there's other people out there living your same life and wanting the same things that you want. You know what I mean? So you're not alone. These podcasts are very, very important. Thank you so much for listening and watching Very Delta. Our show comes out every Monday. Subscribe to Mom Podcast YouTube channel and turn on your notifications so you never miss an episode. Search for Very Delta on your favorite podcast apps to listen to the audio-only version if you can't take all of the visual beauty of the dragon descendant.
Oh,
You can also sign up for our premium offerings on Mom Plus Gold by visiting mompodcast.plus, where you get weekly episodes of more Very Delta. Don't forget to send all of your questions to readmedelta@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram at DeltaWork. And where can people find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at Aurora Matrix. Aurora like the princess, Matrix like the movie.
I love it. We'll see you next week. And until then, keep things very merry, Delta. Very Delta is produced by Moguls of Media, aka Mom. Hosted by Delta Work. Produced and edited by Doug Robertson. Technical direction by Margot Padilla. With original theme music by Will Pitts. Media and design support by Stone Cold. And set design by Eris Sevilla. Executive produced by Alaska, Willem, Big Dipper, Camille Stennis, and Joe Cilio. Recorded at Forever Dog Productions.
Oh no!
Mom!
To listen to Very Delta ad-free, one day early, and to get access to more Very Delta and all of Mom Podcast's premium content, check out Mom Plus Gold at mompodcast.plus.